Okay, folks, we're here at 4th and Cordova. We're waiting on the first team. This is what it looks like in Anchorage. The finish line is right down there. It's February 25th, day one of the World Championship. We'll do this 2 more days. And pretty soon here, the team is coming up from down what we call Heartbreak Hill. So there's our trail leader, Scott Maruski. Whenever you see that snow machine coming down the Rondy Trail, that means the tail is coming. All right. All right.
You see something going on there?
Hey, Scott Maruski on the lead snow machine just came around the corner. We have the live stream on at the Rondy Facebook page. So for those folks who want to see these first teams, I can see Buddy way down there, Mike, right now. So in about 3 minutes on Rondy Facebook page, you're going to see the first team come around.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, we're doing a little bit of extra things here, folks. That was the radio interview part of it. So on 590 Sports, we're contributing here from 4th and Cordova, and we're filming. Here we go, the first team, Buddy Streeper, looking like a machine like always, folks. These dogs have run 24 miles, and they are charging. He drew the first bib, so it's normal that he would finish and not lose any positions unless he had a real incident on the trail. But we don't know how far ahead he is just this minute. But here we go, folks. Nice long shot of Buddy Streeper, defending champion. That is what a good-looking dog team looks like, folks. That is a very highly conditioned dog team running at just unbelievable speed pacing. Look at them charging home. You can hear on your radio. Dog team inbound to 4th. Fantastic. So for the Streeper family out there, looks like Buddy had a good day one. I talked to him just before I went live today and asked him how he felt about drawing the first position. He did mention sometimes it's nice to have another team go first because over 25 miles, there's all sorts of possibilities for having stray, loose household dogs, hikers, skiers, folks on the trail. And so it's nice to have a first team go that's not yourself. But he said, you know what, I'd rather actually go ahead and just put down a good day one and handle whatever challenges are out there rather than having to pass anybody. So that was Buddy's insight into how that went. There can be distractions on the trail, folks. So if you're watching a sled dog race, please leave your dogs at home. And if you have dogs out on the trail, please keep them leashed. These dog teams are working really hard, and we want to make sure that they get a chance to have a good, clean run. We want to thank some of our sponsors today for the World Championship support. It takes everybody coordinating together. You can see all the different officials here. Linden, thank you for your support. Longtime sled dog sponsor. We appreciate that. Alaska Advanced Dentistry. Super nice to have folks in Anchorage joining the tradition of making this race possible. This is a really big community building event. Tudor Bingo, another sponsor. Pet Emergency Treatment, and Coca-Cola of Alaska, as well as the Alaska Dog Center where I work in Willow. Thanks to my team back home for letting me be here. You can see day one is coming together. We're waiting on team number 2 coming up. Cordova right here. So Buddy's got a pretty good lead in sled dog sports when you have 2-minute intervals, and that's the start difference between teams. If you start seeing a 3 and 4 minute gap between the next team, that means that Buddy's got a good lead already. Cordova Hill is at the blinking lights down there. That's a very hard part of the race where the dog teams have to come up. And then they have this big long stretch down here to the La Cabana Mexican restaurant. For those of you who know the area, there's La Cabana. And then they swing around the corner here and they head around and head on home. So that's what Anchorage looks like. Plenty of snow. And thanks to the municipality for moving all this snow, putting it on the streets, keeping all the road guards. It's really a great effort. All right, and we should be seeing another team here soon. There were 19 teams that started this year, 6 rookies. Our rookie class includes Eric LaForce, who did not finish the race the first time he tried it. Tony Blanford, same situation there. Andrea Bond, whose longtime partner Gary Markley is one of the the mushers in the race. So she's racing this year, so she's considered a rookie, even though she's been here a lot. Grant Beck out of Yellowknife, also a rookie. Carl Ray Earhart out of Tanana, our good friend and firefighter, also a rookie. And then Tommy Bird from South End, Saskatchewan, Canada. So here's that list from the start list this morning, folks. I borrowed Eddie Streeper's announcing list there. You can see his name on top, but there's a good look at the names of how they started today, those 19 teams. We've already had Buddy Streeper, the defending champion, blow by here with a great-looking dog team several minutes ago. JP Norris out of Willow, Alaska, is running more of a Siberian Husky. Hans Gatt out of Whitehorse is running more of a pure Alaskan distance Husky. Wendy Callis out of Fairbanks does have more traditional sprint sled dogs, and what I mean by that is a little more hound, short hair, deeper lungs, the ability to vent heat off with the shorter hair dogs. And then you have Guy Girard, Dave Turner, Frank Habermann, Don Cousins, Brent Beck, and Alix Crittenden. So we should be seeing some of those folks here in the next few minutes, and there's going to be several lead changes in there, I'm sure. This bib order was randomly drawn on Wednesday night, and so it's not on purpose that the defending champion Blayne Streeper is first. It's he drew the first pen. So clearly a big gap in here. We'll go ahead and see the road guards let as much traffic move as they can while they're waiting on a team. And then all of us stay tuned to the radio. So this is my helper, assistant, and Lucas is listening to the phone in case Mike on CBS Sports calls and wants an update from our location here. And I'm generalizing on those type of dogs, folks. Generally, there's double-coated pure Alaskan Husky dogs that just run a little hotter. They're a lot tougher for the long-distance races, but they do struggle sometimes with the shorter, faster races where your metabolism and your speeds are just insane. And then you have your Siberians, of course, are built to be more of a slower freight dog team. Well, there you go. There's the military flying around here in Anchorage, thanks to our men and women in armed forces in uniform serving our country right there. That's Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson right there, with some nice fighters flying over, keeping an eye on Alaska and training. Okay, we're hoping we got a team here soon. How's that radio sounding? Let's go ahead and bring in the radio commentary here.
People can make their way downtown. There's still plenty of finishes to be had here today, and of course tomorrow and Sunday will be the reverse start. We'll be providing the coverage beginning about 11:45. We'll give you kind of a little rundown of what transpired the day before, and then a 12 o'clock start planned for both Sunday and Monday.
Yep. Shout out to Chloe if you're listening, and Nate. I'm not sure. I hope they are listening, and say hi to my grandkids, Leah and Ethan, and got a reason to keep living. I got them grandbabies now.
It does make a big difference.
All right, so you're listening to 590 AM, folks. Here's the radio. So tune in to your dial. There's the dial right there. 590.
They have a common enemy, the parents.
And again, we're looking down Cordova.
It is your Fur Rendezvous Open World Championship
Sled
Dog Race, and this is day number 1 as we thank our sponsors, Tudor Bingo, Linden, Alaska Advanced Dentistry, North Slope Telecom Incorporated, Coca-Cola of Alaska, Outside Emergency Treatment Incorporated, Alaska Hydro Axe.
Okay, I see a dog team, folks.
Foundation, the Alaskan Sled Dog and Racing Association, the Municipality of Anchorage, and Greater Anchorage is putting on another amazing Rondy, and coming out of the pandemic and starting to get out and do things out in the open.
Okay, we have a team coming up right now, folks.
And of course, the big miners and trappers country ball tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we see royalty in the house over there, Eddie. Yeah, big time.
Good looking team here.
Beautiful women just came in here with all kinds of sauces and stuff. I'm not sure what it is, but good looking bunch. Can they get that wave down there?
Okay, folks. If you're just joining us, we have our second team coming around on Cordova and 4th here. This is the home stretch turn.
Mike.
All right, team looking good.
Eddie at the time there for Gatt.
This looks like Hans Gatt's huge team. That is Hans Gatt. Look at that. Bib number 3 out of Whitehorse. Hans having a great race. He started with 18 dogs. I'm not sure if he has any in the basket right now. Looks like his team's pretty complete there. Congratulations to, wow, Hans having a nice race today. 18 Alaskan Huskies. Hans is known as being an Iditarod racer, a stage racer, and an open class racer. Very versatile dogs. He works with them on different speeds, but those are more pure Alaskan Huskies. And boy, Hans started with 18 dogs because he didn't feel like he wanted to leave any in the truck. His wife Susie is back home in Whitehorse with a broken leg and couldn't make it. So thanks to the handlers who volunteered to help out Hans. He came here from Whitehorse alone to a world championship. It is certainly nice to have some help. So we really appreciate those folks who stepped up to help Hans handle. They'll also be helping him tomorrow and Sunday. So congratulations to everybody in Whitehorse who's cheering on Hans Gatt. He's had a good run today, it looks like. He'll be in position number 2 for now. Of course, it's really hard to know all the times unless you're tuned into that radio. And again, here's my assistant. Lucas is helping me in case Mike and Ed Streeper on the radio call for an update here. He'll monitor that, then we'll jump on there. In the meantime, my goal is to bring you the best coverage we can from this turn. Look at that, just pure coordination between all the different volunteers, road crossing guards. It's just an amazing cooperative event here. You can hear downtown right now, they're announcing Hans's daytime time. So Hans is in. The tall building right there is the Hilton. That's the landmark for those of you who know downtown. And 4th Ave is completely closed down all the way down to 8th Street, as is the case on Iditarod start next weekend. So big shout out to all the public works people in Anchorage who work and coordinate, keep this safe, keep the snow ready on hand to bring out here and put down for the drivers and the dogs, and all the race volunteers. And we have some Hans Gatt fans out there. Really appreciate you seeing those comments. He'll look at those. His wife is reading them right now back home. She didn't know she wishes she could be here. She's a heck of a great gal. And it does take a whole little village to keep a sled dog team together. So Hans has a lot of grit to come here alone and not just say, well, it's time to turn it around and give up. So hats off. I always like going out there and visiting them in Whitehorse. Beautiful property. And here's my other assistant, Callis Felsenberg, who has just parked my truck here at Cabana so we wouldn't get towed because we have to. Hey, let's get a little insight. So, Callis, your first time to Alaska, your first time mushing was this week. You went on an overnight trip.
I sure did.
Is this totally different than distance mushing or what?
This is something.
Tell the folks at home.
The speed here is a whole different ball game than when we had your tent and about 50 to 100 pounds of wood behind us.
So we went out and mushed with Carlos' son Lucas for his birthday and Carrie, our business partner back in Willow at the Alaska Dog Center. We did an overnight trip with 2 dog teams and 2 tag sleds, a big Arctic oven, all the food and everything. And these guys got to see working dogs. Then they come here today and they see these sprint dogs and the speeds.
They are fast, man.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
So the difference is, folks, these Alaskan Huskies doing Iditarod, they're training in that 10-mile-an-hour range at max. And here these sprint dogs are hitting 16, 17, 18, and plus, even higher on average. So it's a whole different game. But it is cold today, right? We're bundled up. So we got some good weather, right?
36 degrees. You know, it's warm for Anchorage.
It's actually colder on the west coast of the United States right now. Yeah. That place down south, all the California seaboard right now is like in the 30s. So thank you so much for helping out. Any advice to folks coming to Anchorage next year? Get in early, stay late.
Get in early and look up Alaskan Dog Center because that's the place to be.
And come in, hang out, meet some dogs, and then we'll come down and we'll Rondy, right?
That's right. That's right.
And Carlos is way into sun and sunlight, so he's been noticing our days are getting a lot longer. You can see how beautiful our mountains are right here looking at the Chugach Mountains. Look at those beautiful snow-covered Alaskan mountains are just gorgeous right now. And the condition of the trail is just fine. There were some worries that this trail was going to be in a situation, but you can see we got a basin there. There's ice underneath here. There's plenty of room for a snow hook to go in. It's not like we're just going right down to concrete. So it's nice to have the abundant snowfall that we've had and then the ability to use it. So that keeps this race alive. I want to give a big shout out to everybody watching in the remote parts of rural Alaska, rural Canada, Northwest Territories, the Quebec, East, all of northeastern Canada, Scandinavia, all the folks out there who love this race from Europe and who want to come here and race, Australia, New Zealand, and all of those mushing communities in South America. Welcome, and we're glad that you're here. Please join us tomorrow for pre-race coverage at about 11:20, and then we'll do day 2 start right where we were today and forth. I'm giving you the long look here at the top of Cordova Hill. This is part of sled dog racing. We have to be patient between teams, and that's why it's nice to have that radio on. So here comes a team coming up right now. We've got a team. How exciting, folks. And here on the corner, we don't necessarily know right here, just the way that there's so much going on, what team is coming up next. So it's great to have the anticipation like you at home sometimes. And there are some very experienced Rondy fans on this feed who are helping folks at home understand what's going on. So Buddy Streeper came through here about 14 minutes ago. We'd love to know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. It's a whole community of folks. All right, this looks like Wendy. Let's see. Wow. That is Wendy, looking great. Here's her on the corner. Let's get that team coming around. Looking nice. Wendy out of Fairbanks. There she is. So Wendy Calais' friends and family ought to be really proud of this first day run. She's the 3rd team to come around the corner here at Cordova and 4th. She's on her home stretch. Those dogs look good and happy. She's got some separation from the team behind her. I can't see them at the top of Cordova yet. So this is fantastic. Great job, Wendy. And we've got fans for all the mushers from around the world. If you have a favorite musher and dog, go ahead and put it in the comments. They love to come back and watch us when they're back at their place tonight. And of course, it builds community. We appreciate that. This is what we're looking for. This is the next team to come up Cordova there to the top of the hill. So that hasn't happened yet. You'd see a bunch of dogs down there. So Wendy has... We got a little bit of gap there. Wow, what a beautiful afternoon here in Anchorage. Just gorgeous. I know there's a lot of you folks out there who wait for this race every year and the excitement it builds. And last year, we couldn't host it in downtown Anchorage with the health department rules, but we did do a virtual Rondy, and we had teams from Russia and Canada and Germany join us for a virtual event, put together a video for it, and kept the spirit of the Rondy alive. So we called it that. We called it the 2021 Spirit of the Rondy. And so now we're all back together. We're here as a dog-loving community. We got friends and people from all over coming in to watch the sled dogs. This is a really popular corner here, and as time goes on, there's more folks. Kids, they can stand on the snowbank right in their own city with the streets all closed. It's a really fun celebration. You got the elders here who have been probably coming to these races for a long time. This race started in the 1940s, folks. What a tradition. I put in the feed intro a list of champions. You can go back and read some of the greatest names from mushing history. A time when villages would pool dogs together and resources to get their mushers here out of the village to the big city of Anchorage to compete for this coveted title. You have the Byfeld name and Dunlap name, Norris, Roxy Wright, and the Wright family, Champagne, on and on. Ellis, Reynolds, Streeper, just phenomenal history. Lombard, all those names that go way back into the lore of, and this is what really kept sled dog races alive in Alaska for a long time. And then in the 70s is when the Iditarod was formed. So it was 30 years later until Iditarod. So this really is the root race here, the one that brings us all back to the original purpose of having working sled dogs, is to keep humans alive in the Arctic and to keep food and mail and supplies moving. When your snow machine runs out of gas.
What are you seeing over your way?
All right, well, we have had some really good looking teams here. Buddy came through like a freight train like always. Hans Gatt looks like he kept all 18 dogs, and they look great coming around this corner, Mike. And then Wendy Callis, I mean, I've known her for some years. That's a really clean, good run for her, and she's got a really nice separation. So all good here on 4th and Cordova.
All right, Gail, thank you for that. So we should have some more
All right.
down the avenue here pretty quickly.
Thank you. There's our race helpers there, the Sterlings. I know they don't love being on camera, but we love their volunteerism. One of our photographers. And yes, we are definitely cheering on our fellow firefighting brother, Carl Earhart, a rookie year out here. Keep an eye out for him. He's been dreaming of this race his whole life. I know, we just had somebody put a comment on the feed. Everything's so fast, oh my God, with distance races, you can go for lunch and not miss anything. That is true. There's a big difference between the 10-day races and this one. There's a dog team, folks. This will be our 4th team. So we have not seen bib number 2 yet, JP Norris. Not that surprising, and not that JP's not a great musher. It's that his dogs are Siberians and just slower dogs moving on a trail like this. So it's not surprising that he would be passed. And let's see who's coming around the corner now. Okay. Bib coming in right now. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's try to frame this up right now. That looks like Don Cousins. It is Don Cousins. He made some time today. There's Don. Look at that. Follow his team around and boom. Look at they are moving so nicely. Out of Crooked Creek, Alberta. Don Cousins on his 20th running of the Fur Rendezvous World Championship. Still in search of his first title. That was great. Nice job, all you Don Cousins fans. And he was a big part of our virtual Rondy last year. Congratulations. Okay, it's getting a little exciting here now. Another team right in. Let's try a little. There we go. Let's move back a little bit for you. Oh, that musher's looking back right there, so.
I can't quite see the tree blocking the purview, but I believe we may have another team heading down there behind.
This looks like Frank Habermann, bid number 7 out of Clam Gulch. Nice run for Frank today.
Looking good. The dogs are still all looking.
Nice job, Frank. And you hear the crowd cheering on. Fellow Alaskan here from Clam Gulch.
Dogs all look good. Everybody's still pulling. Don's pedaling. It's a nice looking dog.
There's Frank Habermann right there. Look at that.
I don't know if he started with 15. I think he started with 16. I'm not sure. Anyways, there's a single slot, and I can't remember how many he started with. But he does have a single dog in there, I can see. And he's across the line.
All right. Okay, another dog team in.
So another team sees that match and gets out of the way. We'll be able to see them coming down a little bit.
Wow, nice job, Don Cousins and Frank Habermann. For the last 2 teams to come by.
On
on these roads, right? Yep, you can see a dog team now 2 blocks down. And that.
Yeah, somebody in the audience has made a comment that the people controlling traffic are doing a great job. Totally agree.
Good speed as they're getting ready to cross T Street.
Yep. You still see you still loping.
Looks like Girard here.
Box a little bit up the water. I can see on that last street crossing there.
Or is this Brent Beck?
I can see open water that kind of splashed through right there. And that's the next crowd.
No, Girard. There you go, Guy. Look at that. He's calling his team around the corner. Little whistle there. Nice corner there, Guy. Bib number 5, just rounded 4th and Cordova.
He's back across the line. No weak dogs that we can tell from here. Swing dog. Because they're coming across the finish line. There's all these people here and stuff like that. So
That is the bib of Guy Girard, folks, heading down 4th to the finish line on day 1.
1 or 2 of them back off the last 100 yards coming in here. Okay. Let's go back to Bruce. Look what he has.
All right, there's Guy Girard fading off in the distance here as we keep an eye on the top of Cordova to see when the next team's coming for you. And we're keeping an ear out for the radio. Okay, exciting race. I hope at home that you have the radio on. 590 AM Anchorage. Great commentary by Mike Ford and Ed Streeper, reading all your checkpoint times and giving you some race analysis there. My goal is to give you on-site coverage so you can see the dogs in action, and their job is to give you all the time so you know where everybody is. All right. So this is our scene here. The volunteer corner. Our crowd, anxiously awaiting the next team. And then taking photos and cheering when they get down here. So, great tradition here. Again, here was your original start order, folks. I want you to take a look at that. So we're still waiting on JP Norris, bib number 2. We're waiting on Dave Turner, bib number 6. So the order that passed here was Buddy Streeper, then Hans Gatt, bib number 3, then Wendy, then Don Cousins, bib number 8, then Frank Habermann, then Guy Girard. So there's been some passing and changing as you would expect out here. Complicated race, very challenging. So we're waiting on JP Norris to see where he is, Dave Turner. And pretty soon we should be seeing Brent, Beck, Alix, Crittenden, and then Tetzner and that gang, because some of them will probably have made up time. Okay, Guy just crossed the finish line because I could hear the announcer in downtown say it. Way down there. Okay, team's up on Cordova, folks. Let me get into a nice position for you here. Let's see who it is. This is an iPhone 11 Fat Max zoomed in, trying to get you the best resolution. Okay, this is exciting, folks. We got 2 teams coming right now. So this is going to be a neat, and 3 teams actually, and 4 teams. Oh my Lord. Look at this, folks. This is going to be a crazy moment of mushing. 4 teams up on Cordova. This might help us understand what happened out here. Boy, oh boy. 4 teams about to come around. That looks like Alix. Alix Crittenden right there. There she is. If you're an Alix fan, here she's coming around. She's made some moves, looking good. There's her corner. Nice clean corner, and we'll swing it right back. All right, that's going to be Greg Taylor right there. Greg Taylor with the Taylor line of sled dogs out of Fairbanks. Always a competitive racer, looking for his first win. There's Greg coming around the corner, chasing down Alix Crittenden. And then we got 2 more teams. And a third back there. It's rush hour, folks. All right. Dave Turner coming around, racing Chaos out of Fairbanks. There's his dog team rounding the bend. We'll swing it back here. Wow. Let me get this down for you here. And here's JP Norris, so bib number 2 with the Siberians coming around. Look at that good-looking purebred dog team there. JP's father, one of the founders of this race. There you go. Nice, clean. All right. So there's JP, bib number 2. And then here we go. Oh, my gosh. How exciting. Another team behind this team up on Cordova. Musher kicking, Musher participating in some speed there. Brent Beck coming in, rounding the bend. Brent Beck making that turn, making sure he keeps it together, whistling at his dogs. Nice clean corner, and kicking them home. Look at that, 3 teams on 4th right there on day 1. All right, here we go, going back to Cordova. Another team coming in. All right, kneel down for this one. Who's coming? Bib number 11, Michael Tetzner out of Germany. Look at that team of dogs just moving. Looking great. Michael Tetzner. Boy, that was a rush hour there. Wow. That was a lot of teams, a lot of action. How are you guys doing on time?
What?
How you doing on time?
We're gonna off in about 10.
Okay, perfect. Those are my helpers, Callis and Lucas, and they've got they got a flight to catch, so I just got to check on them. That was okay. Let's break this down for a second. Hold on.
I'm not
So
qualified.
sled dog racing
Yes.
can be a little bit of patience, right?
Yes.
That was rush hour.
We had 7 teams in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes.
That was pretty awesome.
Absolutely amazing. So, oh, and here, one more. So the minute you get comfortable, they're coming in. Okay, great, folks. So hopefully at home, you're tracking on the radio, keeping an ear out for what Mike and Streeper are saying about positioning, and we're giving you the footage. So here you go. Looks like Marvin. No, that's going to be Eric LaForce. There you go, Eric coming in. Okay, so we're still waiting on Marvin. Eric LaForce looking to complete all 3 days this year. He's been here before. I would very much like to get on the podium. That is Eric LaForce, bib number 14. Wow. Okay, folks, go ahead and sit tight. I'm going to go ahead and restart this feed, shake my hands out. We got some teams coming here in a few minutes, so get ready to jump right back on, and we'll start up the last bit of the teams coming home here. So just give me a few minutes, shake my hands out, and we'll get right back on the feed.